Hello everyone, this is Suresh from Azure ADB. Today our topic is how to filter last 7 days data in PySpark. So we'll see what all the different methods are available to filter last 7 days of data. So first I am importing the required functions. So mainly I'm going to try with date add, date sub, add months functions, and initially, I'm creating one sample data frame. So here I have three columns. One is ID, name, and load date. So this is the load date date column. So if we create initially by using create dot data frame, since the dates are we are passing as a string, it we will get as string data type. So for that, what I did, I changed string to date data type by using with column, and column name is load underscore date. So here call load underscore date. Here I'm using cast function. So cast dot date. So here we can do it by two ways. So one, we can use it by cast method. One more method is we can use to underscore date function on top of this column to convert string to data type. So now my data frame is ready. You assume that, so this is the data loaded in our bronze table. So whenever we load the data from source to bronze table, so we will add this metadata column, load underscore date column, to find out on one particular day how many records are loaded into our bronze table. So that is the main purpose. So now based on this load date, I want to filter out last 7 days of data. So assume that normally very first time full load will happen on very first day, and second day onwards incremental data will get loaded. So you assume that very first day, maybe you assume that 2026 February 17 is the our full load data, and next day onwards our incremental data is happening. So now I want to find out. And here our latest date is, if you see, 318. So 318 is the last load happened in our bronze table, or you can say bronze table or gold table. So now I want to filter last 7 days from here. So for sample data set, I created only with few data, but real time you will be having. So as I told very initial, I told first date will be full load. So normally we load full load generally happen. It depends on project to project, either 1 year, last 1 year data, or 1.5 year data, or 2 years. Maybe sometime 3-4 years also. 3-4 years data also will be loaded. So if you consider this kind of scenario, suppose you assume that from last 2 years we have data in your database. So I want to filter out only last 7 days data. So now how I can do is, I have three different methods here. First one is by using date underscore add function with the help of current underscore date function. So that means from sample data frame, I'm using filter condition. In filter, what I'm giving condition is, suppose my column, so call of load date, this column is greater than or equal to this condition. So what is this condition? Date underscore add on current date -7. So current date means today's date. And what is the date underscore add? It will add the number of days for our existing date. Suppose if you provide here +7, it will add the date. Suppose if you give negative value, it will subtract the days. So date underscore add. Since I given -7 from today's date, it will do -7 days. So finally, what is our condition? So load underscore date. This suppose these dates, if it is greater than this one, that means greater than or equal to last 7 days date, then it will do filter. So what we'll get here is we will get only last 7 days date. You assume that this is our today's date, 2026 March 18, and since we given greater than or equal to, so except this, you'll be having 4 rows here, 2, 4, 6, 7. Okay, so last 7 days data, it will get filter here. So initially, how many we have? 13 rows. From 13 rows, it filtered 8 rows. And one more option is by using date underscore sub function, subtract. So either date underscore add or date underscore sub, we have to import from SQL.functions. We have to import these functions. So same condition by using filter condition, load date column. Here instead of date underscore add, I'm using date underscore sub function. And instead of -7, I given +7. So in case of date underscore add, if you give positive number, it will add this many days to your date. If you give minus, it will minus from your date. But in case of date underscore sub, it is vice versa. That means here date underscore sub is there. I given +7. So that means from existing date, it will do minus. It will subtract 7 days. Suppose if you give -7 here, it will add 7 days to this today's date. So since I given date underscore sub, current date of 7, what is this condition is, it will check in this load date column, what are the dates is greater than or equal to last 7 days. So here we will get same result here. So this is second method. And third method is by using add underscore months. So here we want only 7 days data. So here number of days we need to pass here. But in case of add underscore months, we need to pass, we can pass only months, number of months. So here what did is same filter condition. So only this function got changed, add underscore months. Since I given -1, so from my current date, that means from today's date, it will do -1. -1 means minus 30 days. Either depends on month. Either in case of February, it can be either 28 or 29 days. For other months, it can be 30 or 31 days. So if today current month is March, so March having up to 31st. So -1 means 31 days. It will do minus from your current date. So since it is today, today's date is March, -1 means it will go for February. Okay, so condition is February. So here today is 19. So -1 means it will come February 19. From between February 19 to March 19, it will do the filter the records. And here if you see here, so here we are getting 11 rows. So total we have 13 rows. So if you see where we are getting filter remaining 2 days is, so March 10 to 18, 5 is there, February 28, and February, these two, February 17 and 18. If you see February 17 here. So last 1 month means cutoff date is 19. So cutoff date is 19. So we have 17. So this is out of range, and February 8. So these two records are out of range. That means these are more than 1 month old. Okay, so we will get total 11 records here. If you do minus 1. And one more method is using current underscore timestamp. So here we used by using current date. So here I'm going to use with current underscore timestamp. So here I'm importing current underscore timestamp from SQL functions and expression also I'm importing here. So same filter condition and this column, load date column, greater than or equal to, here I'm giving expression. So why I'm giving expression is, so whatever this one is here, interval 7 days. So this is related to Spark SQL. So here, this one we don't have in PySpark. So here I'm using expression. Inside these double quotes, I'm writing Spark SQL code here. So current timestamp means today's timestamp minus interval 7 days. So interval 7 days means it will do minus 7 days from this current timestamp. So we'll get same result, 7 rows. So whether you give current date or current timestamp, we will get, we can do filter for specified number of days. So that's how we can do filter the records based on our requirement. So that's all about this video. If you really like this video, please like and subscribe. Thank you. Hello everyone. This is Suresh from Azure ADB. Today our topic is how to filter the data with last days of. Hello everyone. This is Suresh from Azure ADB. Today our topic is how to calculate remaining days in a month. So first we'll see common use cases when we use uh, to calculate remaining days in a month. So first one is we used in billing, reporting, and time-based analytics to drive decisions before month end. So second one is subscription tracking. So mainly OTT platforms like Netflix, Amazon, etc. to determine how many days are left in a billing cycle, and interest calculation based on remaining days. So mainly for banking, loan or EMI calculations. Next, remaining days for sprint planning. So mainly sprint planning in projects. And to calculate prorated charges. So suppose user subscribes on 20th and you want to calculate remaining days and what is the charges for that. So then it will charge only for remaining days. So next we'll see what is the recommended method and best method to handle in PySpark. So recommended method is to use the functions called date difference and last day function. So the logic is like if you want to find the remaining days, you need to subtract two parameters. One is last day of the month and minus current date. That means from today date, you want to subtract last day of that particular month. So first step is how to get the last day of the month. So in this, how to get last day of the month. So we have function called last underscore day in PySpark to return the final day of the month for a given date column. And how to calculate the difference. So we have function called date diff in PySpark to get the number of days between last day and your current date. So for date difference, we need to pass through two parameters, that is end date and start date. So we'll see this one with one example. So first I'm importing required functions. One is last underscore day and second is date difference. So first I'm creating one sample data frame. So here I'm using SQL. I'm creating table name as subscriptions. So in this I have three columns. One is customer underscore ID, customer name, and start date. So here mainly we'll target on this date column. So if I call this table, so this is my final table. So in this, my start underscore date table is date data type, and these are all the values. And on top of this data frame, what I am doing is, now this is SQL table. Suppose if you want to write the PySpark code, so you have to use spark.table, and inside that you need to pass this table name, subscriptions. So what will happen now? It become Spark data frame. So now on top of this, you can apply PySpark functions here. So now this is sample data frame. On top of that, first what I'm doing, first I'm trying to find out the last day of the month. So for this, I'm adding one column, that is the last day of the month, by using with column method. So that is this one. And here I'm using last underscore day function, and I'm passing the column name. So that is this column name. So for this column name, I want to find out what is the last day of the month. That is this one. And second line of code is, I want to find out the days remaining by using date difference function. So date difference function, we need to pass two date columns. So in here, I'm passing last day of start date. So that means this one. So that means for each date, I'm finding last day of that month, and I'm passing start date, this one, this column. So if you do difference between these two, so you will get what are the days remaining. So first we'll see this one, last underscore day. So we are generating on top of this column. So here we have 2025 March 5, and what is the last day of this month is March 31st. And here March 10 is there, so March 31st is the last day of the month. So here also March 31st, and here February is there, February 15th. So for this, what is the last day of the month? 28th. So here April is there, for April. So all these are related to April, and for this, last day of the month is 30, April 30. And if you see May, for May 1st, last day of the month is 31st. So May 31st. And here May 10th is the 31st. And May 20 is the 31st. So for each value, for each date, we find out what is the last day of the month. Now what I'm doing minus, that means the difference between last day of the month. So that is this one, and minus start date. So now this is the end of the month, and minus this one, start of the month. So how many days are remaining? 26. So for this customer, so 20 days are remaining to pay the amount. And similar way for this customer, 21 days are remaining. So March 31st minus 10. And similar way here also. And if you see February month, this particular customer, 28 minus 15, so 13 days is remaining. So like this, it will calculate how many days are remaining to pay the customer. So this is applicable for all the uh, all the domains as I mentioned here. So here I mentioned only few uh, domains where this uh, calculating reminders. So there are multiple use cases also here. So one more thing. So here I created data frame uh, table I created by using SQL code here. So first I created table, then I inserted values, then I called the table. And then after creating, I used spark.sql. So if you don't want to do this one, creating in SQL and using spark.table, what you can do is same code you can use here by using PySpark code. So here I written data. So this will create you the data frame by using PySpark. So that data I'm writing to delta table like subscriptions. So same subscription you can follow here. From here onwards, you can follow the code. So this one you can do either through SQL or PySpark. So that's how you can calculate remaining days in a month. So that's all about this video. If you really like this video, please like and subscribe. Thank you.